Warning, this video is only for 14 and up, and if you're under, please leave this video because I will not be accused of something I don't want to be accused of. Please, if you're under, leave the video. Stories go through the air. You can listen and you cannot. But stories are here to help. Understand what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes stories can do the opposite. There's no right or wrong. You have to form your own opinion. But that is not what you're here for. You're here to listen to this silly little god of this channel. Listens to his mind going on about his stories, about the different worlds where he's traveling to, and where he can make some small different in a timeline. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Warning, and I will only say this once. There will be more talks about death and suicide. I will just be safe from YouTube. But if you understand me and you can't handle it, I encourage you to leave the video. I enjoy if you stay and listen to the rest of this story, but if you can't handle it, I understand if you want to leave. Enjoy the story. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys will well, never mind the intro. It's the last episode of this series! What if Deku own Freddy Fazbear's? Now, where we last left off, the third day of the opening happened and everything almost went correctly, and one woman being manipulated by a quirk because it was kind of poisonous. There was actual poison in her blood that manipulated her. Almost committed a murder because it was actually a great scene for what her mind thought of killing a child because Freddy Fazbear's had that. But luckily for her, or unluckily for her, she got stopped, put in prison now. And Isuku took a picture with all the animatronics, Class 1A, Class 1B, Principal Nesu, Aisawa, Mike, Vlad King, and the others, if there was others, took the pictures with them. And then we cut to an old man holding a picture outside the building, and I said there hasn't been a person in 2 months in the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Mall. So let's begin from there. We see some feet walking towards the entrance of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Mall, with a cane beside, and a man was walking with a cane in his hands, walking towards the building. Walking over and walking inside and walking into the building, Isuku sees, moving boxes at the entrance where people has their names on it. Yes, I actually said it. Isuku. If I said Isuku. Isuku saw some boxes. Yes. Isuku Midoriya, aka the former number 2 hero, or actually a number 1 hero at one point in time, has retired a few years ago. He's now 56 years old, and very old. His injuries from his past as a teenager, fighting off one and everything else, has gotten to him. His bones are fragile, but he can still walk. His muscles are breaking each other, and it's quite hurtful for Isuku right now to move around. He has some problems with one of his legs, has some issues with walking. So Belle is, walking with a cane. It's his right leg that has some problems with walking. Belle walks inside to see some of his employees that was staying here for quite a while, being Ruby, Yang, Blake, Weiss, and John stayed there for a lot of years because they enjoyed staying at the company. But today, the mall is shutting down. No one has visited the place. A few guests has some couple of days, but it was not enough to had the building on. So Izuku has decided to shut it down forever. Well, it's good to see all of you, Izuku says, walking over to the group that was standing there. All of them having a younger child with them. A teenager that has also lived at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza for quite a while. I will not name names of the children. I will just say the son of Ruby or daughter of Wise or something else. Isuko, Ruby says with a happy tone. It's great to see you. How are you and Ochako doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. It's still hard to move and a little more painful than usual, but I'm doing as fine as I can, Isugu says to his employees. Now, I know it's sad to see you all leave the building forever now, and I'm quite happy what I've done with this, Isugu says, looking at the employees in front of him. And Isugu pulls out, 5 envelopes. These are the rest of the money I have earned from here. They were surprised and grabbed it, and seeing it was a lot of amount. This building will not stay up for very long. And I want you to have a great life out of here. Isugu smiled at the group that had some few tears in their eyes. Thank you, sir. That's no problem. The group smiled and hugged Isuku thanks for all the help he have given them, advice and new jobs they can have when they get out of here. After some few hours of moving out with boxes and everything else, Isuku smiled at the group that left, but stopped when he walked back into the building, meeting the puppet beside him. Are you sure? I'd have to. Isuku sighed and looked at the building, and it looked fine. Everything was clean and everything else, but Isuku had a look. It is time for the Afton's family's history to finally rest, and the children and the souls that has been suffering for years. Isuku walks forward with the puppet floating beside him. Then everything will be ready tomorrow. I will stay here, don't worry. What about Ochako? She will be coming soon enough. Don't worry about it. When Isugu started to walk further into the building, a voice came from behind. Do you really think I wasn't gonna leave you alone in this? Isugu turned around to see his wife walking towards him. Oh, Chako. Isugu says, looking at his wife lovingly. You should not be here. What about your medical? I don't need it, Ochako says, walking towards Isuku. It's strong, I know. But it wouldn't kill me for a few months. But it's hurting Very much. I can understand that. Ochako says, walking up to Isuku. Are you absolutely sure you want to join me in this? The others would. The others understand. I talked to them. You did? Wait, no, they shouldn't know about this. Isuko, they would have found out. I can't stop you, can I? Isuko, I have stage 3 cancer. Luckily for me, I don't think I'm gonna live that long either. They said I have like 2 months left. Ochako says, with Isuku smiled and said, well, smiled sadly. Huh. How do you think? Ochako walks over, wrapping her arm around Isuku's left arm. Two famous pro heroes, Deku Urevity, fighting the League of Villains Himego Toga and Shigaraki to the bitter end to stop them. But cancer and old bones at 56 and 55 is how we're gonna be taken out. Izuku smiled at his wife, that smiled back. I don't know. But I want to go my own way. I don't want to die to cancer in a hospital bed. Ochako smiled. Even though it's shameful, I would rather be with you to the very end than just being alone when you are gone already. Ochako says, looking at Isuku that smiled. Is Nana and Toshinori left years ago, Ochako? The remainder of the strength of One for All is keeping me alive for now. But that quirk will kill me one day. My body cannot handle keeping it here, and its job is already done. It's sad that we couldn't raise our own child. Yes, it's sad we couldn't have one. By the meaning of this, and I will say this, in the fight between Ochako and Toga back then, hit Ochako's re she can't give birth because of what Toga stabbed her. She can't give birth anymore. So they couldn't have any children at all. So they decided to be great uncles and aunts towards their friends' children. And they have been amazing uncles and aunts. What do you think Bakugo would say? I would say you are a fucking idiot. Bakugo walking forward, being around 56 as well, walking over to Ochako and Isuku. Ah, there you are, old man. Oi, don't call me old man. You're the same as me, but more deflated. Give me a moment. Anyways, old as you, and you look more, deflated than you were back then. All the damage I've gotten over the years, and you don't think I will look like this? I almost look like Gran Torino if I was shorter. Isuku says with a smile. Yeah. Are you Sure. Yes, I am. You are a great friend, Bakugo. I would have told you, but I would be terrified if you tried to stop me. I don't want to die in a hospital bed. Not anymore. I want to go out my own way. If it is, if it means this, my plans, then I will take that road. Oh, Choco? No round face. My cancer is spreading too fast. It's painful. I don't want to die in a hospital bed either. Even though Toga saved my life, I had a good life. And I will thank her when I meet her. I don't be sad. You have Kimi. Yeah, I know. Wait, did I said Bakugo was with Kirishima? No, I think I said Kirishima was with Mina. Anyways, do you think the others would try to stop us? Izuku asked Bakugo. No, they will arrive tomorrow, but won't walk into the building. Yes. Mm, but I hope you only will be the one to see me. Nah, wouldn't happen. I think Momo will call a newscast to see the former number one hero Deku last moments of life. I wouldn't traumatize anyone of my death, Bakugo. Huh. Yeah, you wouldn't do that. Nah, fuck. Sorry about that, if you heard my phone. Uh, well, see you tomorrow, man. I will see you tomorrow, Bakugo. Bakugo walked out, and Izuku and Ochako walks more into the building. And Deku, yes, thank you for being my friend, Izuku. Thank you for being my friend, Katsuki. Both of them smiled and walked away from each other. In the next morning, well, in the evening, around 12 o'clock, all of Isuku's friends from Class 1A and Class 1B, that all of them is, well, old and alive. None of them has died in any way. I will just make sure of that. Aizawa and President Mike has passed away. Vlad King is also, well, Nezu, Aizawa, President Mike, and Vlad King has passed away. I will just say that. It's only Class 1A, Class 1B, and their children is there. With a newscaster standing, well, nearby. Izuku and Ochako was standing in front of the building, with the newscaster asking questions. What do you mean you are not going to be in the public eye anymore, Mr. Deku? Meaning I'm getting too old to be on a camera anymore, young miss. It is time for me to retire and have a nice last moment of my life with my wife. Even though I've been retired for a few years now, I do still want to inform people. And the people that saw me grow from a young fledgling student to a heroic hero. Are you sure? Yes, I am. But what about the pizzeria? Pizzeria mall? All the ads such of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and entertainment will still belong to me after death. And I don't want any other company or anyone to replicate any and all schematics of any animatronics or anything else. Isugu says with a smile. How would you do that after, well, passing away in a few years? I have a few reasons. But I will keep that to my chest. And I will say this is the last words we will tell people. I hope you have an all a great day. From the former hero Deku and his wife, Ochako. Well, Uravity. Izuku says, smiling and walking towards the building with Ochako, still clinging to the left side of his arm. The newscaster smiled a little at, well, Deku. This newscaster is a fan of Deku back in the day. Then she started to interview all the other heroes that was there, like Lord Explosion Murder Dynamite, a refrigerator hero Shoto, and some of the others. When it started to, does it smell like smoke? She asked when she turned to the building and saw, is that fire? After Isugu and Ochako walks into the building, the puppet was there in front of them again. Everyone is ready. Is everything set up? Yes. Everyone's ready to go. Thank you. I'm happy you have been here to help me with all situation, puppet. I am glad I helped you. The puppet floated away down to the basement, and Ochako and Isuku walked over to the middle of the building. It's the last time. We will see each other. And we will see them go on as well. I know. Isugu had a, well, walkie-talkie in his hands. Is everything ready, Golden? Everything is. Alright. When I say it, please light the fire. Isugu breathed in when, don't. A voice came from Isugu's head, hesitating him. What? Don't. Why would you want to die, little one? Isugu thought for a moment at who this could be. He has never heard this voice. In his mind, he asked, who are you? Oh, you have known me by many names. Springtrap, Purple Guy, maybe Phone Guy sometimes. But you will probably know me as William Afton. Why would you don't want immortality? To live longer and healthy alive in an animatronic suit. It is wonderful. Before the voice could go on, Izuku heard his wife. Golden, please light the fire. Izuku looked at Ochako with a surprise. You hear someone, don't you? Ochako asked, with Izuku surprised at his wife. You have. I was worried if you're not. If he was here, would he stop you? Hesitating you, so you don't want to light it. From the basement, the stairs from the basement, fire was coming from the entrance and up to, well, around the building now, starting to burn. You are so smart, my love. Wait, no, you can. I don't want to. You are one of my bloodline from my brother. Why won't you want to be immortal? Sorry about that. I had to cut because someone walked in, and I will just cut in if everyone getting nervous about this. I'm getting nervous as well, and I'm the one that's creating this. So don't worry if you don't want to listen even more. This is a second warning. You can click off and go to, I don't know which time, but if you don't want to listen, it's okay if you want to click off. Let's continue. William Afton's voice kept bothering Izuku. Why didn't you want to be immortal like me? Being in an animatronic will become great. Your spirit would be in a metal shell where you can live on. Why would I? Izuku said. My life has been amazing. The only regret is I couldn't have a child. But when I think about it, I didn't want the same thing that happened to you happening to my son or daughter. It kept burning around. The fire kept spreading first to the arcade machine, burning up. Well, no, it was first in the basement where Goldie lighted up and started to burn everything down there, and the animatronic stood there waiting for the fires and melting them away. Goldie and Golden were sitting together, hugging each other. For all the years they had spent together and probably hated each other for some time, they do feel connection. Connection of familiarity, friendship, and camaraderie. Maybe even love for young spirits like them. Other spirits were sitting down, waiting for the fire to consume them. But the animatronics that doesn't have spirits were shut off, down in the below, surrounded by the other that has. They were on the floor laying down, with the fires going over them. The spirits that you have trapped in those suits were still here for hundreds of years. And you want me to be immortal. I refuse your mentality. I don't want to be you. I don't want to become one for all for one. All for one. I want to be Izuku, the ninth user of One for All. The fire spread faster and faster around the building, lighting up each room, well, each party room, or room 1 first, room 2, then 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Going to the arcades, then the eating corners, into the hallways of every single one of, well, spreading as fast as they can around them. then up the stairs and into the relax room, then into the hallways, into the museum, the security guards' rooms, melting everything away of Freddy Fazbear's. You're. You're a selfish child. I may be a selfish child, but at least I died with my humanity. Can you say the same thing, Afton? I will. You won't come back. Your spirit might be here for a single second. The fire sprayed across the floor, licking at Ochako's and Isuku's feet. But I will die. I will die here. The Afton family. The end of a family line will end here. The fire spread across the pillars and up to everything. Then touching Isuku's legs and his pants, starting to burn him. He could feel the pain, but he didn't feel it that well. He could feel the fire started to spread around him. You, Afton, will burn in hell forever, never having a new body to go back to. All of the stuff I've collected over the years of Freddy Fazbear is here. Everything. You have nothing to go to anymore. This is your own death, then. And I will accept my death. I won't be a coward that hides from ghosts. Isuku said, with many spirits started to surround Isuku and Ochako, making sure they could not feel the pain of this fire spreading around them. Up their shirts, up their face, their skin, their body, burning up. Isuku took out a picture in his hands when everything was burning around them. Holding his cane the cane in his right hand, both Ochako and Isuku looked at an old picture of them in front of the pizzeria with all of their friends, teachers, and animatronics. Isuku stared at it and then smiled. Outside of the building, the news reporters point the camera at the building. Fuck. Sorry if you could hear that. Everyone was looking at the building when the building was, about to, with fire coming out of the doorway. With all the old employees that have survived, that have lived a long life, and all their friends looking at this with sad faces. Someone call the fire department! The reporter says with scared in her voice of the hero inside. Don't call them, Bakugo said beside them. With Kimi and their child, two children in front. One teenager and one little girl. Around 12 years old. Why not? There are people, the two heroes are still inside. The camera was on Bakugo when he started to talk. They are suffering. I truly do want them to just die a normal death in a hospital bed. but they don't want to. Old people, right? Bakugo said with a smile. He's a bastard. He truly is. Going out in his own ways is always what he wanted. Well, in the later years of his life, Bakugo said with a smile. But what about his wife? She has cancer. A horrible kind. She didn't want to die alone without him. So, both of them decided this will be their way. What about their children then, if they have some? They couldn't have any. They could not have children of their own. They're amazing uncle and aunts towards our children. Hmm. But they would also have been amazing parents if they could have children of their own. Bakugo said when the building, well, the walls of the windows of the doors started to break open, with the fire spreading heavily around. The smoke was in front, so no one could see inside of the building or hear any voices inside. No screaming, no nothing. No one could see for a few minutes. The cameras were still on when a melody came from the building. And I will just say this. I don't have the copyright for this music. I don't think I'm allowed to use it. But I will leave a link. Alright. So I want you to go to this YouTube video. It's a song I have enjoyed back then, and I want you guys to play it with me. I'm not gonna put it in my video itself, because I don't want to get copyright strike right away. So, go to this one, and when I say go, start playing it. But put it down so you can hear my voice, because it will be more enjoyable, and I will listen to the music so I can tell this story. I will try to do my best. So, 3, 2, 1. When the melody came from the building itself, all of them were surprised that music was playing. Everyone stood up from chairs they were seated on to pay respect, or couldn't sit up or stand up as much people could. They heard a voice coming from the building, a male voice and a little and female coming from the building at same. The voice of a Chaco and the Uraka's voices came from the building. Everyone looked in but couldn't see anyone yet. They were quiet, listening to the voice from the building. When the smoke cleared more, they could see not two, but more people inside of the building, standing around two grown adults. This was the spirits. Everyone could see them outside of the animatronics, standing around Ochako and Isuku in their last moments of life. Both of them was completely fire, but it was not spreading to two things that was nearby what Bakugo could see. A picture Izuku was holding and his cane, looking, well, that what he could see of the items that was not burning. Then the the flames started to move up and away from the building. Some children moved away and up, floating and laughty, happy laughters came from the building of children. But they could still hear Isuku and Ochako singing. They went up and up, like they were like balloons, floating above the air and out the building. The building started to break apart, one piece by piece. A wall, a pillar, glass breaking from above. But no one interrupted the song. Everyone from Class 1A, Class 1B stood there. The cameraman and camerawoman didn't talk, and the people that saw the interview saw the last moments of two great heroes and her song and the children trapped in the animatronics flying away. Different colors flame came from the building. Bakugo stood there, having his wife around his arm, his right arm, with his two children looking at the flames, and all of them was crying, seeing the last moments of his friend, finally moving on, and hearing his voice dying down and disappearing, seeing his friend moving on, and Bakugo accepted it. Goodbye, Isuku. Ochako. I hope you have a happy life in the afterlife. And that is where I'm gonna leave off this series. I know it's sad. I know it's not what you think the ending is gonna be. Probably Isuku standing in front of the buildings looking at the sunset. But I didn't want that. I want the story of the Aftons and the animatronics moving on, finally. Nothing is more, nothing is left. Everything was burned in a building fire, and I will just inform you, everything was burned. The pictures, the cane of Izuku, I said Bakugo could see was not aflame, finally went aflame in the last moments. So Izuku is dead with Ochako. This is just the ending. I will just inform you. And I had fun. I will say I had fun telling you about this series and everything that has happened. And I will just I am happy you all listened to the end of this series. I love telling you guys stories, even though the endings might not be sad as this one. I will still do my absolute best to entertain all of you. And if you're still here at the end, I will post another video today or tomorrow. I have another episode in me. I've posted probably post 4 videos in this week. That's more than I have done with what ifs. I almost post 2. I post 4 this week. So you guys are getting to eat this week. And I will inform it's the next part of the new series. What if Izumi was an Amazon from Danmachi? Good morning, goodbye. Farewell, and I hope I see you in the next video. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, my blue masks. You don't get an explosion this time.